I'm delighted to say I'm joined today by Amy Shields from Smart Compliance. Amy, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really, really good. It's yeah, I'm really good.
I hear that you're really good. We're getting some good feedback coming back from the people that you've been talking to. And I know that today we're here to sort of talk an exclusive launch. So it has been kept under wraps.
Sort of.
And when I say something as exciting like exclusive launch, and then I say anti-money laundering, some people might think, hang on, the two things don't go together.
No.
But this is a real first, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to make AML a bit more exciting, maybe even sexy, you might say.
And
Can we do it?
well, I think you could. If anyone could pull it off, I think you can. I think you can. I think AML is interesting because we have been pretty much for the largest amount of time left to our own devices as agents, as to our own interpretation of how much we can get away with when it comes to AML. We know it's something that we've got to do, and we know now we have to do more of it than ever before. But it's not quite as simple as we thought it used to be. There's a lot of agents out there sort of taking documents and scanning them or photocopying them and hoping that they've done their due diligence. There's a lot of agents out there that don't have any sort of risk assessment whatsoever. They have no idea. They've got a policy. It's a loose policy. Everybody knows about it. And I'm not trying to single out any one agent. It's just us as an industry. We've never really come under the microscope as much as we have done recently.
No.
If
Do you want
only
a couple of
the-
facts? So I throw you some stats because I know you love a bit of data.
I love a few figures.
Okay, so, and I think you're bang on correct. And it's been really interesting talking to agents over the last few weeks because some are doing some of it and getting some of it great, and then kind of forgetting or not understanding another part of it. Other agents I've spoken to are absolutely getting it bang on, but are doing it manually, which takes a lot of time. And then other agents are just, yeah, in a bit of a muddle and a mess. And it is really confusing. And I get it because it's taken me a long time it's taken me months to get my head back around it. But yeah, stats wise, so fascinating facts. So estate agents are responsible for just shy of 50%. So I think it's 45 point something percent of fines from HMRC to do with anti-money laundering, which is horrendous. So we're responsible for nearly half the fines to do with AML in this country, which isn't a great stat to be proud of. And also the AML fines have gone up 64%.
And that's something that it's really crept up on us, hasn't it? I mean, there was some people warning that they're going to start to clamp down, but your figures and the stats that you've just mentioned, they show an actual sort of living indictment of the fact that this is happening right now.
Yeah.
You need to jump on it as an agent. And that's where smart compliance comes in.
Well, hopefully we can help, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the product then.
Yeah, absolutely. So it came out of really the lockdown situation. Rob Sendall, who is obviously one of the founders of Lifetime Legal, had a couple of agents, and he was already working with one of the big national companies to do with the conveyancing and the paneling side of Lifetime Legal. But they also offered AML. And they had some agents, a couple of smaller agents as well, approach them and to say, look, we understand you can't take us on board with conveyancing at the moment, but could you do our AML? And that's really where it kind of then came from. And yeah, the product and the service has just evolved since then and got better and better. And we're now at the point where we are fully launching it into the world as its own entity.
So I think what makes this so interesting is that it's designed to cater for the most stringent of HMRC regulations. This isn't something that sort of gets you minimal compliance. This is, dare I say, we're going to be using the word guaranteed HMRC compliance.
You don't need to use the word. We guarantee HMRC compliance, full stop. So yeah, it's very exciting. I think to be able to offer that peace of mind to business owners and to agents, even down to the staff, because you do worry. I think, certainly as a branch manager, I was kind of always double checking what my staff did with their ID checks and AML checks. You kind of do worry about it. So yeah, we offer fully HMRC guaranteed compliance, to the point where if there's an error with any of our compliance packs, we would pay the HMRC fine for you if you got audited.
That was my first question. I was like, right, they've told us it's a guarantee. How have we fact checked this? Is this actually a guarantee? And the fact that you're willing to put your money where your mouth is,
yeah,
I think says a lot, because those potential fines can be huge when you top them up for various different branches.
Absolutely. I think the latest I saw, the most scary one, was sort of one branch agency that got fined just over £50,000. Wow. Obviously, it depends on the extent of your errors, and it's a percentage of your turnover, which is also scary, especially for the bigger companies. But yeah, the HMRC compliance is fantastic, and we can offer that. The pure and simple reason we can offer that is because we are a fully managed end-to-end solution. So we don't just do a bit of it or two sections of it. We do all of it, and we do all of the extra due diligence, which is the biggie, and the more complicated bit, and the bit that takes time.
I'm gonna talk to you about that, because powered by Lifetime Legal, smart compliance is going to take away a lot of time-consuming detail that people have to check into. And if you're not doing it, that's what you should have been doing. And if they force you to do it, you're gonna have to pay for it and do it. But we spoke yesterday in sort of slight preparation for today. See, there is some prep that goes into
a little bit, tiny bit.
And you told me, without naming any names, you told me some experiences, some conversations that you've had with agents, and there's something that stuck in my head all night about one particular agent who has one member of staff who is doing a huge amount of due diligence to supplement a service that they're already using for AML compliance. So they're paying for a service, and they're also spending a great deal of time verifying documents, chasing certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, you name it, powers of attorney. It's a minefield, and not every sale, and this is what the HMRC wants us all to get into our head, every client has to be assessed on their own merits and in their own rights, and it's not a one-size-fits-all scenario. And that has kind of just been playing in my head all night, because I thought to myself, gosh, he's literally got a compliance officer working full-time.
Yeah, and the scary thing is that if HMRC, when HMRC, I should say, come and audit your office, they will go for those tough cases. Trust me, they will not be just picking the straightforward, easy ones. They will be going for non-UK residents. They will be going for probates. They will be going for power of attorney sales, company sales. They will dig deep, and that's the scary thing. And I think another fact for you. So far at the moment, our current percentage of cases that go through to our extra due diligence team is 65%.
Wow.
So 65% of our cases are having to go through to our dedicated team who do all this document chasing, dealing with people who've fail facial recognition checks, from everything to divorces, marriage certificates, death certificates. It's an absolute minefield,
so
and they do all that for you.
We ain't naming names on this show, but we know because we have it on good authority that there have been a few early adopters, agents, and we're talking big names. We're talking about people with big marketing machines, with lots flowing through their pipelines, where this sort of compliance, it can be the barrier between sort of getting it right and getting fined and all of that. What's their feedback been like?
Yeah, fantastic. And I think the one thing this does is let your staff and let your employees do their main responsibilities, their main roles, right? So if, as a branch manager or a lister, you are bogged down trying to chase a flipping power of attorney document or marriage certificate or whatever it might be, company sales are horrendous, the amount of paperwork you need for those. it's taking them away from doing prospecting, from hitting the phones, to being there for their clients.
And let's face it, that there isn't a single estate agency employer or employee that woke up saying, today I'm going to get stuck into some nice compliance. That's what I love, because at the end of the day, it's a sales environment. We're providing a service to members of the public. And I bet your staff at your office get excited about compliance, but they're going to be the minority, and agents just want to get on with making money and being agents, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's, for me, it's, when you can just kind of not forget about it, but you pass it through to us, we just crack on, get it done for you. And then obviously we get the compliance back to you, so you can either make the property live or send out the sales memorandum. And that's, but in the meantime, they can just crack on with their normal jobs and go out and do what they're good at.
Let's talk about how we do that, because I need to sort of just verify that with you. Otherwise, I haven't done my job with you today. It's a fully managed end-to-end service. So what does that practically speaking mean? I'm an agent. I've got a buyer, I've got a seller, or maybe I'm at the beginning of the process with the seller. When do I call you? What happens? Who deals with what?
You don't call us. Well, not unless you want to have a quick chat with us. So we have two options. So we do have a couple of CRM integrations built and done. I would say two of the biggest names in the UK. So that's awesome. So if you're on those CRM systems, it's super easy, because you literally just answer a couple of questions on the property page. So very simple things like, are they a UK resident? Did you meet them at the house? Fires over the lead to us, goes straight into our system. We crack on, we call the client, go through everything with them. And then we literally with one of the CRM integrations, we actually put the compliance pack straight back into the CRM. So it automatically goes straight back into that property page or the applicant page for you.
Awesome. So I hit that button, it's gone. I don't hear about it again till I get a message saying everything's cool, get on with your job.
Or they've utterly failed, and there you go, your mess, you go sort it out. No, and if you're not with an integrated CRM, it's also super easy. We have a system that that is called Lead Ladder. You very quickly enter the client's details into it, which you can do on your mobile phone or your laptop. It sends over the details to us that we need. And then we also have a portal which you can track the progress of the compliance pack as well. So yeah, it's cool. You can see exactly what's going on with it as we're working on it.
You might be surprised to know that I'm your stereotypical ADD estate agent, running around doing a million things at once, being all things to all people, trying desperately to remember a list of things that I've got to do in my life and also in my work life. Are you going to come back to me if there is a problem and give me step-by-step guidance on what I need to do ideally to resolve it? Or do you just say, there's a problem, Dave, put your hat back on and get out there and solve it?
No, I mean, okay, if they fail all of our steps, then it's back to you and your MRLO to make a decision on it. However, we will keep you up to date, obviously. So there's facial recognition, there's ID verification, which is like the PEPs and the sanctions shizzle. And then you've also got the property ownership and proving the property ownership. So we do include the title deeds in our compliance packs as well. So it's quite a full-on compliance pack where you've got the ID, the facial recognition, where you've got their selfies and the photos of their passports and driving license. Then you've got the ID verification, which explains all has the national insurance number, PEPs, sanctions, loads of other bits. And then also the title deeds, and then any extra due diligence would go into that pack as well.
That title deed verification is so important, because the HMRC are reporting that title deed fraud and all these sort of land registry scams that can happen. Well, there are people posing every day if you've got half credible information, and it's, we might not want to accept it, but it's our duty now to make sure that we're that line of defense, isn't it? We need to pick up on it. I'd much rather,
rightly or wrongly, we're the front, estate agents are the front line, and that's, I say, rightly or wrongly, but it is what it is at the moment. And so we want to make sure that we're protecting our clients as best we can from
So
Any comments?
guaranteed HMRC compliance, I'm going to be given absolute guidance. My clients are going to have a wonderful service because you've got streamlined systems that help them get through those steps as well. What else do I need to know? Do I need to change the way that I'm doing things on a charging model basis, or what?
Okay, so this is where it does get a bit exciting and a little bit interesting. We've done the kind of boring bit now, haven't we? HMRC, boring.
You're gonna go to jail. Now listen to where the money can be earned.
Okay, so this is where it did get quite exciting, because yeah, okay, HMRC guarantees, great, protects your client, or protects my clients, as in my estate agents that I work with. However, it gets quite exciting for the buyers and sellers. This is a mindset shift, and I totally understand that from an estate agent's point of view. But I suppose one of the huge benefits is that we're free to estate agents. So we don't charge you, David Mintz, as an estate agent, a penny to use our service at all,
Okay.
because you're going to charge your buyers and sellers. So this isn't the first product that does this. Agents have to, often charge for professional photography packs, videos, EPCs.
Yep. And we're not talking huge amounts here, are we?
No. So the agent can actually decide the cost that they want to charge the clients. We do have a variation of that. So the exciting thing is there is an income stream. It does generate an income stream for the agents as well. So the compliance packs are £40, including VAT. And then the agent can choose, should they want to, and I'll emphasize that, should they want to, an add-on as an admin fee, because obviously when we send the compliance pack back to you, David, it's your job still to read through it, review it, make sure you're happy with it, sign it off, and then make your property live or send out your sales paperwork. So you still have to, it is like an admin fee. You're still having to do a little bit of work on just reading through that compliance pack and signing it off yourself, make sure you're comfortable and happy with it.
Compared to the individual fines for each case, if you turn around to me and say, David, you're not charging your clients for it, you're just going to pay for it yourself, I'd say £40, including VAT, is a price worth paying.
Yeah, so most of our clients nudge it up to 60. And that is a sort of we do have some clients that charge more, but the feedback we've had from agents is, I think the initial is you can't do that. You can't charge buyers and sellers to do their AML check. The feedback we get is that as soon as you've done a couple of them, and it's that mindset shift, isn't it? Just in exactly the same way when my boss said to me, go out and charge £400 for a hip, or you've got to now charge, I think when EPCs first came in, I think they were around £75.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, correct.
And then agents obviously started including them in their packages and started getting clever with it. And exactly the same with professional photography. Even at my last agency I worked at, the professional photography pack was, I think it was £99 plus VAT. Yeah. So it's just, agents can bundle it up and do something with it if they want to, and offer it as part of their service. I have spoken to some agents that have just said they would include it because their fees are high enough that they feel it's enough to warrant that. But I think in the market we're in, agents would be silly not to try and claw back some of the AML money that they have to spend out on training their staff, keeping training records, and obviously the HMRC registration as well, which costs a fair whack.
Yeah, absolutely. There are costs, even if you don't sell a single house in a year, there's a cost of signing up to all of these things. And I just think it's that peace of mind that people get. It's the ability to go to bed at night knowing that you've got a robust procedure in place. Not only that, you don't have to do it yourself. So you're no longer outsourced border control police. You're no longer working in a passport office. How do you know what a fake document looks like and what a real one looks like? Leave it to the pros. Let them deal with it.
Yeah, and I think that, as an ex-agent, I do get it. I do understand, moving home is expensive and you're passing these costs on to your clients. But AML is a legal requirement. The agents we are working with, which you said big names in this country, they honestly, hand on my heart, and if people want to speak to me about this individually, I can walk them through this, do not have any issues charging. They get very, very little kickback. In fact, one of the national firms we work with last year was absolutely tiny. So I think, you know, it
is a
just
mind,
part
as
of
you
it.
said earlier, it's a total mindset shift. If you shift your mindset to, we do not do that amateur style in-house anymore. We now use this service, and that service has a cost, and it's a benefit to, and it is a benefit. It's a pain when you turn around to a client and say, oh, I need this document, I need that, and I need it. Just have somebody get it in a structured manner that is really useful for that end user to use on a remote basis. It's all automated. It's fantastic.
And they don't just get their AML check. Should we go into the benefits of the clients? So the benefits of the buyers and for the buyers and sellers.
Tell me more. Because
So,
do you know David Mintz's #1 rule to prop tech?
go on then, hit me.
My #1 prop tech rule is that a prop tech product or solution is only good if it carries a benefit for the actual paying member of the public. So a buyer, a seller, a landlord, a tenant. And if it also benefits the agent on the way, that's it. Big ticks everywhere, man.
I think we've nailed it then.
Okay.
Come on. So the benefits to the buyers and sellers in this world are that they get membership for free for 3 months. That's a tongue twister, isn't it? Free for 3 of lifetime legal membership. So this is obviously Smart Compliance is powered by Lifetime Legal, and Lifetime Legal is a legal membership. And your buyers and sellers get that free for 3 months. So for that membership, they get a free standard or mirror will.
Okay.
They get free legal advice on anything. So it's like Citizens Advice Bureau on the end of your phone line. Why not? However, the one thing, and this is probably the thing I got most excited about, which is probably really sad, but it includes something called mover protection, which is our own product. And mover protection financially protects the buyers and sellers should anything go wrong with their sale that's not their fault. They get any reimbursements, so they'll get their money back on survey, searches, legal fees.
And that's free for 3 months.
Yeah, they can choose to extend it as well if they want to. So if they haven't exchanged completed by the end of that 3 months, which let's face it, in the UK, questionable, they can choose to extend it if they want to when they get to the end of that 3 months, and it's £7.99 a month to extend it, and then they can just cancel it at any point once they've exchanged completed, or they can continue it because there's actually quite a lot of other benefits that they get. I've just named kind of the main 3 there, but the mover protection for me, you know, for let's just say £60, for example, is incredible. So we protect the clients up to just over £2,500 if they're buying and selling.
It's amazing. Peace of mind for an agent, peace of mind for your clients.
Yeah.
All of us get to go to sleep at night and not worry too much. And Amy Shields is going to come and pick up the tab if it all goes wrong.
Well, not me personally.
No,
but yeah, I mean, you know. But I think for me as an ex-lister, what I got most excited about this, because all I could think about as an ex-agent was pitching this sat in someone's living room.
I could totally see how you'd market this.
Exactly. And to be able to sit there and go, so I'm sure you're aware, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, that 1 in 3, you know, properties sales fall through in the UK at the moment, which is really unfortunate. We have a rubbish legal system. So we as your agent want to financially protect you throughout your moving journey. I'm sure you're aware that you have to do anti-money laundering checks when you put your property on the market. So we've partnered up with a company called Lifetime Legal, who actually then will financially protect you with their mover protection product. You can explain it in a little bit more detail or how you want to. But, you know, from my part, that would build a lot of trust with a potential client, that you are actually really looking out for them, financially protecting them throughout their move journey. It reduces risk for them, you know, financially, and it gives them peace of mind as well. So you're not only giving the estate agents peace of mind with this, but also, as you said, the benefit of passing that peace of mind on to your buyers and sellers as well.
I love it, but I'm a bit biased because I've got Amy here. But come test it, put them through their paces. The feedback that you're getting is phenomenal, and I think a lot of agents can benefit from this. And congratulations, I think you
Thank you
made
very much.
AML compliance just a little bit exciting today.
A little bit more.
A little bit, a little
Should I
bit.
also mention that we're happy to provide risk assessment templates, your compliance policy documents, and come and support you in person if you do unfortunately get HMRC coming to your
Yeah,
office.
so I'd like
Yep.
to cover that because that is a huge part of it. So you can have a great system if you don't have that risk assessment in place. When somebody walks through the door and says, "Where's your risk assessment?"
They'll walk straight out again and you failed. I mean, it's literally that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's, I think the one thing to remember here is that we are a service. We're not software. We are not, do we fall under the prop tech banner? I think we're probably just more an agency supplier because we are a service. We're not software. And that to me is really important because we're human. We're a human service. So, we have tech to enhance the journey and the experience for our clients, but essentially we're a service.
It's that prop tech dilemma. Am I a service? Am I a product? Can I be both? And I think we all can. Amy Shields, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.